How you doing, guys? This is Cyrus again, and welcome to one of our videos in the series of Contemplating with me. Today I want to talk about something important, something that I guess this is very, very essential that everybody should know about it. Personality types and knowing yourself. One of the few topics that you've may heard a lot about it before, but I want to talk about the importance of this knowing yourself. We're going to discover a lot about if you know yourself, what will going to happen, and if you don't know about it, what are the consequences. So this session is important. Let's get to the intro and we'll talk afterwards. Okay, knowing yourself. What is it good for? And if you don't know, what are the consequences? Well, I can talk about myself and everything that happened to me and my journey about being in this field, the behavioral science, and my journey of knowing myself fully, that I'm present here and talk about it to you. Knowing yourself is very essential. Is one of the few things that I guess every human being alive on Earth should know about. All right, if you don't know about mathematics, nothing will going to happen to you. Like maybe you find yourself a little bit struggling with, I don't know, with numbers and about, like money, sensory stuffs. But if you don't know yourself, you may find many, many problems. And by many problems, I can say you will find yourself in a stage in your life that you're going to stop doing everything and only just having that sad feeling about yourself that what all these bad things actually happened to me. But by knowing the system and by knowing yourself, all of those problems are going to vanish. Like as soon as you learn the system, every single of those problems, you will not going to face it again. In this journey, actually, I had lots of troubles and lots of hard times. Because when you start knowing about yourself, you're going to face everything. You're going to know what are the strengths and what are your weaknesses. And those strengths going to give you more strength, and those weaknesses going to fill, going to make a big void inside of you that why do I miss such functions, such performances that I actually need them. They're part of this world and they're essential, but I'm missing them. So this is all about me, my personality type. I'm going to tell you every single detail about it, and you're going to understand that by knowing these things about yourself, you're going to find life much more easier than ever. So my personality type, in terms of objective personality system, they call it feminine, masculine, which we call it visual. We will talk about it, what is visual. TINE, introverted thinking, extroverted intuition, and we will explain what are these things. And we have a part, we call it animals. Animals means something that make you move. All these things that are going to be related to your performance. We call it consume, sleep, play, blast. And we'll talk what are these things and what are these things are going to do with us. I'm going to start from this point. Every single human being inside of themselves, they have two big parts, all right? The very big part of their personality is, we call them saviors. Every person alive on Earth have two functions, which is saviors. And we will say, what is savior? And each person still alive on Earth, like the dead have it, but we don't talk about the dead, so we put the emphasis on the alive part. They have two other functions, which we call them demons. So, what is saviors and what is demons, and what are those functions? The savior functions are the ones that are going to save you and save everything about you. When you have them, when you have that when you are in your savior state, you feel confident, you feel free, you feel that, you feel that relief of just moving towards that, not cross that lines. On the other hand, we can call it safe zone. Every human being, when they're born, actually, they're going to have these functions all together with themselves. But after a while, they just find themselves doing some weird actions in their life, which all these actions are in that savior state. Plus, there's some times they're going to face those functions when they are not so well, and those are the demon parts. The savior parts we said, that's the part that feel very confident in it. Everything is okay in there. But the demon part are the part that we lose. We're going to lose our self-confidence in that part. And that is not our safe zone. The demon functions of each human being is going to, show themselves in an emotional state. You're talking to somebody and they say something and you become angry. Okay, that anger is your demon part. We don't know what will be your action when you actually hear that word from your friends, which is going to make you angry. But that action of yours is coming from demon part. All right, so until now we found that there's some parts that you're very good at it, and there's some parts that you're not good at it. Actually, you're afraid of those parts. What are we going to do in our life? All right, if we just put ourselves on autopilot forever, we're going to find ourselves all the time acting on the savior state. When you're on autopilot, nothing bad is going to happen to you until the time that you're going to have an accident with an event, with a person, with whatever, with a thing. And by that time, you just, the reality going to hit you back and you get out of your safe zone and you find yourself in trouble. And when you're in that trouble, you can't really handle it because you're on autopilot. So that autopilot is good and bad. And the bad of that autopilot zone is more than the good part. But nobody going to understand it. Nobody going to notice that that bad part is very essential to cover. Imagine life is a university and you're in that university and you're going to study mathematics, for instance. Well, there are many courses that you have to pass. Some of those courses are really, really hard, and some of those courses are easy peasy. So if you want to pass, if you want to graduate with a very good grade, you have to be good at all of them. So there are some parts that you don't like, but you have to still cover them. If you don't cover them, you're never going to graduate. And imagine that graduation will be success. In personal life, we're not talking about society. We're not talking about becoming successful person in terms of, society's look to you. No, we're talking about personal life. And success in personal life, the gift of success in your personal life will be good feelings, will be mental satisfaction. So that is essential. We had a video about mental satisfaction and physical satisfaction, and we said mental satisfaction is very important. So everybody wants to become mentally satisfied, but the way is going to get through this part, knowing yourself. So, savior part, demon part. Let's get back to that subject. Savior parts are the ones that we said you have very good at it, and the demon parts are the ones that you're not good at it. But how can we cover all these things? In my personality, I have two savior functions that I want to talk about and my two demon functions. what are those things are going to do with me? We want to talk a little bit science here, right? Let me just put a parenthesis here, and we can get to that subject later. Carl Gustav Jung, a psychologist, I guess from 20th century, the early 20th, he found about people that each of us has 8 cognitive functions. That 8 cognitive functions are going to divide it into 4 parts, and all those 4 parts going to divide it into 2 subgroups. What are those things? Every human being, in the look of Mr. Carl Gustav Jung, has thinking part, feeling part, sensing part, and intuitive part. All right, so every single human being have all these 4 parts in them, which every single of them individually has 2 other sides, introverted side and extroverted side, which we can talk every single of them individually later. I mean, like, there's no rush about it, but I just want to get through the whole picture here first. Then we're going to divide them into lots of other short videos. All right, so you, my audience that are looking at me, you have thinking part, feeling part, sensing part, and intuitive part. So you as an individual do not have all of them together. These 4 parts that I talked about, 2 of them, when they collaborate together, they're going to become your saviors, and the other 2 going to be your demons, because they're like coins, right? So the thinking and feelings are one side of your coin, and I mean like it's a coin that one side is feeling and one side is thinking, and there's another coin. One side is intuition and one part, like with the other side, is sensing. So each of us has 2 coins in our hands that is in front of us. Possibly we all have that 2 coin, right? So my coins, my personality, one of those coins is thinking, which is in front of me, and the other coin is intuition that is in front of me. So whenever I look at these things, I'm in my savior state, but if one of these coins are flipped onto the other side, I'm going to face my demons, which I don't like, which nobody likes. Because I told you, we all prefer to be on the autopilot, but when reality going to hit you, you will see the other part of that coin, which you don't really like it, but you have to face it. So by far we covered all these things, the cognitive functions from Carl Gustav Jung. Each of us has 4 functions: the thinking, feeling, sensing, intuition. And we all human beings have 2 coins with 2 sides. One of those sides are saviors, and the other side is the demons. And 2 coins, 2 saviors, 2 demons. So let's go to the next chapter.